We have taken a huge blow to the net worth for 2026. And believe it or not, even though we were off on a good start to the year, we are actually down for a lower net worth than what we started with January 1st of 2026. In today's video, we'll be breaking down the investments, what's going on, why are we negative for net worth this year so far, and hopefully, again, this gives you that perspective that not everything is going to be on the up and up. So if you are excited for today's video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications as per usual, and hopefully you appreciate the full-on transparency you get from myself, Fridge Financials here. The last week we did net worth for, I did it for members only, and I was like, hey, if we get a certain amount of likes, people do members only. Unfortunately, we didn't get that many likes, so we're back to doing it for the public, which is totally fine by me. We have other content on the membership over there, so feel free to check it out, where it's like, stock market, stock prices, updates, earnings, weekly live streams with myself and Ryan, posts about financial content for members only. There's a lot of stuff over there. Check it out on the YouTube channel as well. But we're going to get right into it here, see what we're looking at in terms of the investments and what is going on for myself. And again, remember at the beginning of the year, we set goals. I think it was like I wanted to have like $135,000. And then my reach goal is like 155. And right now we're going the opposite direction of that, which is fine though. I mean, and we'll talk about what's going on for it here. So talking at the first one here, our managed account hasn't really had much of a change. That one is actively managed by Robinhood and up 15.09%, probably about at the same spot as where the S&P is right now. At the time of recording this in terms of percent return since I started doing this. So I cannot complain with that one. That one's just managed and just, buys and sells whenever it wants to. And then we wait and see what happens in the long term. So, that one's doing really well. If I don't touch anything else in there for the next 30 years, I'm looking at about, a decent amount of money here overall, which I'm really happy with. So very happy with that one. Not touching that one. Just letting it do its thing. In the Roth has taken such a blunder. It was close to $20,000 at one point without me putting any more money into it, and now is back at $17,000. When people say, Fridge, why is that the case? Novo Nordisk is bothering me so much. Okay, they came out with their results of their weight loss drug compared to Eli Lilly, and it was like 1.5 or 2.5% below the, outcome results of Eli Lilly, and the stock crashes 15%. It's like, okay. So I have some leap options on Novo Nordisk. Now, worst case scenario for me, I guess what I could do is I could just roll the options out after it gets closer to that date to kind of wait and see what's going on. I'm still very much optimistic on it. I'm so optimistic. I went in, I got another contract of it because the contracts are super cheap. So I dollar cost averaged my leap option. So we're going to hope for the best. We still have, again, almost a year. It doesn't expire till January of 2027. So hopefully Novo Nordisk is able to find a way to pull it back together here and to regain market share of the weight loss drug and the other drugs they have as well. And, really, it will do really well. But right now, Roth's kind of sitting there like doing whatever. Again, the good thing is I haven't put any money into it yet for 2026 because I'm putting money towards my wedding right now. So when I do put more money into it, I'll get a bit of a match as well, a couple $100. So, that'll be very, very nice for us overall. To the health and savings account, up $1,600. I have not allocated any more money into it yet. I should probably check my account and see. So hopefully next net worth video, we will actually have that for you. So you can see I have a physical coming up this Friday. So I'll make sure I'm all set there first. And then we can kind of start to think about, okay, I can allocate some money into, SPY again, QQQ, whatever the case is. But, still just kind of sitting there and making a little bit of money here and there, get some dividend payouts, which has been very, very nice to me so far. So I'm really happy with that overall. Into the individual, still down. I have yet to break this one up to the green. It's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So I would love to make this one green at some point. Right now in the individual, I'm sitting on a lot of cash right now. I close a lot of positions out. And right now, this individual one is actually up 11% and some change year to date so far compared to SPY. So I figured, I was like, you know what, let me take a step back here. We have some earnings coming out here, some good potential plays maybe to look at, and we can use that to kind of gauge what we're going to be looking at moving forward. So right now, kind of to sit on some cash, get a little bit of APR on it, or APY, I should say, while I wait for another position to open up for me. The crypto one is just not doing well. I mean, again, buying $6.70 every single day. Not an easy thing to kind of keep track of and not lose your emotions for it. Down over 27% all time. Bitcoin is down about 20% for my buying up I'm doing. But the good thing is I document all of it every single day now on the shorts. So take a look at the shorts. You'll see the updated position on Bitcoin daily, which is very, very awesome. And my average cost basis for Bitcoin is almost about to be under $80,000. And if it even gets anywhere close to 100K again, we're making some good profits. I'm really, really happy with that so far. So can't complain still. It's a long-term game for me for crypto. I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin overall. One of my ideas also is maybe I do another investment of Ethereum. It's like $5 a day for Ethereum maybe. I don't really quite know just yet. Maybe we'll reevaluate that a little bit later on. If you want to see me do $5 a day for Ethereum, drop it down in the comment section below. Let me know if you'd like to see that or not. Because I still also like Ethereum as well. Ethereum is your powerhouse of crypto, 403B account, again, my employer-based one that I have money taken out before I even get into my own paycheck here, essentially. This is actually very nice because it kind of goes off of the video I just posted recently about retirement accounts. So right now, I'm slowly just taking money out of my paychecks, putting it towards a retirement account. So right now, my retirement's at like $18,000 for this account here. Again, not factoring in the Roth, not factoring in the managed, not factoring in the individuals, all that kind of stuff. But, still up 35%. Pretty happy with that overall. Peer-to-peer. I had one loan default, and it was like a really good rating default too. So I was kind of blown away by that one. So it actually went down. But again, the risk associated with doing loans like peer-to-peers is you have a risk of a default. And that's what happened here. I've had, I think now 2 loans default. So far, out of I don't know how many I've put money into right now, but I've had about 2 loans default so far, so it does impact your, obviously, return for that reason. But it is what it is. It's still up 10%. I haven't put any more money into it yet. I'm not sure if I even will. I have no clue yet. I'm kind of waiting to see expenses coming up for weddings and stuff like that. Every dollar counts, as we all hopefully know. So I haven't touched that just yet. Check account up a little bit here. We do have bills coming up next week at the time of recording this. We have a paycheck coming in next week as well, so that'll be a nice little balancing act, basically, to figure that out. But, still $5,200 kind of sitting there just in case for bills and stuff like that. Wedding stuff obviously is coming up. Expenses still we got to pay for and everything. And the savings account has done absolutely nothing. It's made 2 cents, I think, on interest or whatever it is. This is where the big blow was to the net worth row. Was my high yield savings account. And let me explain a little bit as to why this has gone down from $10,000 down to about $6,000 here. So we withdrew recently, I withdrew from my account $4,200 recently from this account right here. I do want to say fridge, why? We had a wedding expense come up, obviously. And what was interesting in the math, this is how I've reasoned the math for it. All right. Again, the high yield is paying us about 3.25, 3.5% for the year, right? Our videographer / photographer, because he does both, he emails us and he goes, hey, we have a slow part right now in the season. If you pay our whole balance up front, we'll take off $500, I believe it was. I was like, oh, okay. So basically, I could let the money sit in there, that $4,000, let it sit in there basically, and get 3.5% interest, or I could basically save us $500 if we take that money and put it towards wedding expenses like that. So, for example, if it was $500 out of $4,000 that you save in that case there, we're looking at basically saving about, an eighth? So about 12% you're saving right there by paying it up front fully instead of waiting until the end. It was going to go towards our wedding stuff no matter what. The high yield is probably going to go to zero before our wedding is here, honestly, because that's what we have it there for. And so taking out $4,000 to save $500 means that we save ourselves basically like 12.5%, which is still very good. That's a lot better than that $4,000 would have done in the high yield for the year, right? And this is coming up. Our wedding's in 4 months, right? So that's our big blow. We had $4,000 gone there. Looking at our Webull account here, still kind of sitting down a little bit, which, it is what it is for Webull for the trades. The markets have not been favorable to us so far. We also have our car value, still about 9,000. They still book it at 8,000, but I really do think it's worth 9. I got new brakes on it. I have a new transmission after I'm at like 60,000 miles right now. I got a new transmission at 30,000 miles right now, so I put a little bit of value in that. I got new brakes in. I got new tires that were already included in my contract. I get new tires when they get worn out. I still think it's $9,000. That's just me. Because the value that comes in from Carfax doesn't break down all those things, and there's not all logged in there. It's like, oh, like your brakes need to be done. Like they already were done. Oh, you need new tires. Oh, they're already done. So it doesn't factor that in all the way. So that's why I say it's about $9,000 still-ish. Which means our net worth is down at $124,000. That kind of hurts a little bit. It hurts, but again, take away $4,000, you're at $128. Markets have had some volatility recently. That hasn't done really well so far. It is what it is, honestly. And take a look at the number breakdown here. I don't know what that box was there for. Let's break down the numbers here. Oh, I don't want to move me. I want to move this over. Look at that. And then what we can do is I will give me 1 second, guys. Technical difficulties, not even difficulties, just looking at the overall spreadsheet here. So as you'll see here, the managed account is basically break even now for the year. Hasn't done much. The Roth is down $600. The HSA is up like $50, which is great. Individual is up a little bit. 403B up a tiny bit. Peer-to-peer is down $20 because we had defaults on that one. Checking account basically about the same. Savings about the same. High yield has that big hit there. So we are down $4,500 in net worth now because we spent that money out. Down 3.5%. And from the beginning of the year till now, we're down about $2,000-ish for our net worth. Still over 100K, which I'm still happy with, but again, obviously it just kind of sucks that, wedding expenses come up. And at this point, again, my goal is 135 by year end, or 135, 140 maybe. Like that's year end, because if I can still improve my net worth while paying for a wedding, like that's huge to me, while we pay for our wedding and stuff like that. It obviously just sucks, We were as high as 132, right? And now we're down at 124. So $8,000 just in a matter of a couple weeks. Just negative. We've had, we had 3 nice weeks of green. Now we have 3 bad weeks of red. And again, take a look at our nice little table we've got here. Same thing. Up. And now we are going back down, which again is not ideal for us, but hopefully again in due time, things will start to turn around. I'm hoping for us in the long term here. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. That is the net worth. We are down $4,000 on the week. We are now negative for the year so far, about 2 months into the year, and we are negative. But it's a long game. It's not the short term. This is going to happen. We're going to see these fluctuations. I'm not too worried about it. I just want us to hopefully see from now till the end of the year where we are at. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made this far in the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications as per usual. Check out the memberships, as I always say in every single video. A lot of really amazing content over there. And again, even if you don't want the premium version for it, you can pay the $3 a month and get nice little access to emojis, badges, early uploads, all that kind of stuff is there for you. Feel free to check it out, of course, as per usual. And I hope you guys make money in the market in some way, shape, or form, as always. And I will catch you guys in the next video.